Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 1556. We are coming off the Madison Card Show yesterday at the Alliant Energy Center, and what a show it was. A few hiccups. I think probably the only major hiccup was my own fault. Take 100% responsibility. Just had a couple screw ups, which even doing online payment, it's still difficult to track. The back end for my payment system is not very efficient or streamlined. So I've got to find a better way to get things tracked, or just pay closer attention, I guess. But we got it ironed out. Bought a lot of stuff, very few complaints that at least I heard personally or overheard. Usually a lot of the complaints I overhear. People don't want to just come to me and complain. I appreciate those that do. Sometimes it's like, yeah. I tell you what, when it comes to complaints or opinions, I always listen. But I don't always agree. But I always listen. So feel free to complain, and sometimes I get annoyed. If it's 110-degree heat index and the doors are opening and closing and there's a room, 1,000+ people in the room, it's going to be hot. No matter how low you turn the AC, it's going to be hot. So fortunately, we've moved past those. So our next show at the hotel, our 2-day weekend in September, the end of September, we won't have to deal with the heat. So that's a good thing. But yeah, it was a good show yesterday. What did I do on Friday? Lead up to Friday, spent a lot of time. I basically spent time finishing up shipping in the morning, and then just gearing up for card show prep. I did to make a bank run to get cash. And then I'm like, I'm going to go drive by, because we were on the sign. We were on the big sign right on John Nolan Drive, Madison Card Show, Saturday, August 30th. And I'm like, I need to get a good picture. I took a picture in June, but it was from my car on the road. I'm like, I'm going to go park and walk across the street and get a nice photo. So I drive out there. It's not too far. It's like 10 minutes out of my way. So I drive out there and pull up, drive past, and it's the Madison Quilt Show. So they rotate it. And I don't know if it goes by every 15, 20 minutes or every hour, but they do rotate the sign. And I do know that Madison Card Show has been on that sign at least for the last week, probably more than that. My neighbor said he's seen it a couple times. So I went out because I wanted to get a good picture, and it was the Madison Quilt Show. So I kind of took a roundabout way and turned around, and it was still Madison Quilt Show. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to sit here and wait for it to turn. So I did move on. So I didn't get a picture of the sign that said Madison Card Show. So yeah. And then Friday, I will tell you that running this show is stressful. It's less labor intensive than the hotel show, but there's more back end stuff. Like, it's more stressful. The payment and the booking process is much more stressful than the hotel shows. Like, the hotel shows, it's like, yep, here's the spreadsheet, here's my PayPal, and pay. But there's mistakes that are made that way. The Pokemon show, I think, has been there's always a hiccup. It seems like every show there's a hiccup, and you just try to reduce those. But the day of and the night of, like, I've got a lot of just like petty things that I need to take. Like, I got to go make sure I have cash. I've got to get all the signage into my car. I've got to print table numbers out. So that stuff is pretty minimal. And it's the same as the hotel. However, the hotel, I have to bring in 10 to 20 tables of my own. I have to move stuff around because it's not like the Alliant. Here's the map, and they know what they're professional event coordinators. So, the hotel, it's just We're going to go get John to set the rooms up. And usually the hotel, it's set up, but sometimes oh, we have an event the night before, and I don't have to worry about that at the Alliant. Plus, East Coast Tom, he's in the house. For day of show, I mean, if I didn't have Tom, I would give up because Tom is absolutely awesome. So thank you, Tom. I thank him, but I want to publicly thank him and how much help he is assisting me during the show, especially during check-in, and having two people. And sometimes, yesterday I had, a little mishap that was my own fault. I was able to take care of that, but you can't tell because you have multiple people working at the hotel. It's me. So if two people have an issue at the same time, I've got to pick my battle. So Tom was able to keep check-in going. I was able to try to get things figured out. I had to go get one of my admission helpers, staff members, I guess, to come basically stand and watch for a few minutes. But having that is tremendous help. So it's like, is it a lot more work? In a way, yes. Is it a lot less work? Yeah, in some regards. It's far less labor intensive at the big venue. It's far more expensive. There's a lot more hoops that I have to jump through. But at the end of the day, it's such a nicer venue. It's an actual venue for like an event, right? I mean, it is an event center. It's the exhibition hall. So it's made for these sorts of things. So if I could do it every month at this venue, I absolutely would. I think there's still some newness to it. I think we had a huge turnout in June because it was the first show. And we had this week, I pumped a lot more in advertising dollars into this show, much more marketing. I was much more proactive on getting the word out than I have in previous shows, which is a slight of myself for, not going 100%, I guess. But I sunk a lot more money into it in terms of advertising because it's Labor Day weekend. We have the Taste of Madison, a big event downtown. They charge parking at the Alliant. I paid for that parking. Somebody on Facebook says it wasn't free, or parking was free last time. It's like, no, it wasn't free. I paid for it. Like, somebody was still paying the parking in June, and it was me. So that was just kind of like, it's the first event. I'll take care of the parking because that's going to be a big blow. And I'm sure it was. And I'm sure some people didn't come because of the parking and the admission and all that. Yeah, if you parked in the parking lot and to get in, it was $13. And, in a different time, I wouldn't have paid $13. I mean, I didn't even go to the free card. Before 2019, 2018, I think, when did I start? I think the first card, I moved to Madison in 2014. I didn't even go to the free, actually, it was $1.50 admission, by the way, for like 15 tables. I didn't even go to the $1.50 card show until 4 years of living in Madison. I didn't step foot in a card show here until 2018. And then I set up right before COVID, I actually set up, and it was not a good turnout, not a good day to set up at a card show. So, which, by the way, that previous card show was in the hotel next door, which that hotel's now open. So if you are coming in and staying, there's another hotel option that, because it had been closed for about a year maybe. And I think they did significant renovations because it's now a Hilton property. Previously, it was a Clarion, which is probably under one of those umbrellas. But now it's called, I think, Spark by Hilton. It's nice. They gave it a nice facelift. I don't know what they did inside, but at least the outside looks nice. Of course, you're not sleeping on a bed on the facade. But I'm sure they did some renovations inside. So overall, it was good. Very few hiccups. Very few complaints. far less than previous times. You know, I personally heard a couple complaints about the parking situation, not because they had to pay, but because they were surprised they had to pay. And so I think one of the first people through that mentioned it said the Isthmus, which is kind of a small, it's not like a newspaper. I think it's like, I don't, maybe it is a newspaper. I don't know what it is. But it's like, and I think it's an online. I've got to do some investigating. But apparently, they were saying that it was free parking, and there was a couple other. I think it said free admission, free parking, blah blah blah. It's like none of that information is correct, and I did not. That's not coming from me. I don't know if they just took old information from the hotel show, but that is not correct. And I had a couple people mention that. They're like, well, this website says it's free parking. It's like, could we get reimbursed? No. And then I think the TV station, which I didn't even reach out to the TV station because they never run my shit. And so that I'm aware of, at least, when I send out releases. But somebody said, they're like, the TV station said free parking. And I'm like, well, that's wrong. So hopefully people that watch that TV station aren't surprised when they have to pay at the gate. I had a couple dealers come in late, wanted reimbursed for their parking. No, that was explicitly stated in the email to dealers. If you don't get here before 8:30, and they may have started taking money at 8:25, so maybe I should say by 8 o'clock. But I don't want to broadcast that too much, because then they'll start taking gate money earlier and earlier. So I just, based on it looked like it was right around 8:30 when I started seeing people stopping and paying. Outside of that, and those were like two small issues. We ran out of coupons, and this is kind of how I gauge the attendance. Is we ran out of coupons. We print 1,000 coupons. Those were gone by like 11:30. I printed an extra 100, and those were gone by like 12:15. We only give those out to paid admission, so kids part of that attendance number. So with paid admission likely in the 1,400 range, there was definitely 600 or more kids that were in attendance. So that's where I come up with the attendance number. I wasn't there counting, but pretty safe to say we had over 2,000. What else? Layout. We added a couple. We took out two tables in the 2 tables in the sports room, moved those into the atrium, added a booth in the atrium, and then I tossed in an extra table in the atrium. So we had a little bit more, but it was pretty tight at that entrance. So I may have to adjust again. I think we can get by, but there was a little bit of a log jam, and I think it might be as simple as moving the table. Instead of, as you walk in, there's a table right at the right where Comp Killers was, maybe moving his table over and angling it, and having like an upside down L as you walk in. So it's a learning, it's every really every show, even the hotel show, every show, there's something that, it's like, oh yeah, I didn't think of that. So I'm actually going to go up and meet with Brad on Tuesday, because I have an idea, which he actually, when I was there picking up the coupons last week, he ran something by me that I'm like, that's a really good idea, and let's make something. As I was driving home, I'm like, I think we can make something, an event around that idea. So we're gonna hopefully get together on Tuesday, because his shop's closed, and so we can have like uninterrupted conversation. So hopefully we can get that ball rolling for next year, and reach out and maybe even do a 2-day show at some point next year. I definitely need to. It would be a bigger show, because it's going to be a 2-day show. So it's just one of those things where I've got to get some things lined up. That it's a potential. So yeah, it was a good show. I don't think I spent as much as I intended though. Let me see. And I'm sure I missed a couple transactions once ago. By the way, if you were at the Madison Card Show and you left something, I was able to track somebody left their basically wallet. It was their driver's license and credit cards, and like 5 nice Caleb Williams rookies. So I mean, fortunately, he left his driver's license there, so I stalked him on Facebook, and I'm like, I don't know if he's going to respond because we're not friends, so it might go into his other folder. But he did respond to me last night, so we're going to make that exchange tomorrow. And there was a big Pokemon card that was dropped on the floor. There was like a binder, not cards, but other stuff in there. I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to, that's my 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle I dropped on the floor. So I did put a post on the Facebook page. If you lost something, reach out because I've got a nice pile of lost and found. So I spent a little less than I expected. And I'm sure I missed a couple transactions here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I only bought from 7 vendors, but I also spent because what I bought in Janesville, I think I bought from 13 vendors, but they were all small, with the exception of my bulk deal. They were all fairly smaller deals. Yesterday was, I missed Craig. I bought from Craig also. What did I spend with him? 90, I think. That was the last deal of the day. So, yeah. So I bought a bunch of slabs. I bought from Mark. He had reached out to me this week. He's like, hey, I got some slabs. Denny, who's in here in the chat sometimes. Mike, who has one of the booths. I bought a bunch of slabs from him at the last show at the Alliant and spent a bunch with him yesterday. That was my biggest. Did I do? I think I wrote that one down. And then at the end of the show, there was, and I don't even know, I have to look up their names because I didn't recognize them from doing previous shows. But they had a ton of slabs and they had some good pricing. Now, some of these I'm probably going to break even on. Some I might even lose a few bucks. And some I will make money on. The goal is to make more money than I paid. That's my goal. That's my goal. And I got a little bit of a deal. I get a little bit of a deal off that. So yeah. So you'll be able to see what I picked up today and tonight. I'm going to do a doubleheader today at 1:00, tonight at 7 p.m. Central on eBay Live. And I got to get those shows scheduled so you can get them linked up. Let's go to the chat. Todd's here. What's up? Good morning. Red lights in the house. Good morning. East Coast Tom. There he is. Good morning. Chris says, was that Labubu in last night's video? There was some Labubu in the house yesterday. There was some Labubu. I know at least one vendor had Labubu and possibly more. Tom says, we also got to collar a loose doggy. Yes, that was probably the highlight, hanging out with a pup. It was a great little distraction. Yeah. So there was also a horse show that was going on next door. I'm not sure what the event, I'm going to have to look at the website, see, because there's also an event going on in October, the same day as our show. I'm sure it's probably something similar. And so I think one of their dogs, somebody's dog over there was loose. It was the Wisconsin Quarter Horse Association State Show, which was going on yesterday and through tomorrow. The Great Wisconsin Quilt Show starts in a few days. The Madison Water Lantern Festival is coming up next weekend. They're doing parking for Iron Man next week also. They've got a job fair. They've got a tattoo festival in a couple weeks. The World Dairy Expo, that's a huge one. I think the World Dairy Expo takes up like every single building on their campus, which I'm pretty sure is their biggest event of the year. Which makes sense. Dairy, Wisconsin, of course. Gamehole Con is in October, which I believe is different dates. Yes, it is. So we're the following weekend because our October show is Where is my October show? It's not on the calendar. We got to get that fixed. Right? It's October, correct? Today's August. So August, September, October. Yeah. We got to get Madison Card Show on here. Brats and Robots in November. Interesting. Wisconsin. Oh, so what is the event that's going on? Oh, it's another horse show. So the weekend of the Madison Card Show in October, it's the Wisconsin Interscholastic Horsemanship Association State Show. So let's see. I don't think there's any other events in December. Nope. Oh, in December, there's a Totally Rad Vintage Fest. That sounds fun. Looks like they do start having some dates in 2026. And I'm gonna book I'm aiming to get January and February on the calendar at the Alliant. Since those are our most heavily trafficked shows. So yeah, and there's nothing. The dog show is February 22nd. Wait a second. Oh, that must be at the arena, not the exhibition hall. All right. Anyway. Chris says if you are relying on information from an online outlet called the Isthmus, you shouldn't be surprised, right? Don't get your news from the Isthmus. Sports cards are dead. Everyone needs to switch to TCG, please, now. So this is fun. So at 2:30, I'm towards the back of the sports room, and there's like, say, out of 10 dealers that are in that back little area, there were maybe 2 dealers still set up. And it's just like empty. It's empty tables everywhere. 2:30. So I go over to the Pokemon room, and it's just buzzing. And it's packed. Same exact time. Now, here's the difference. And I've talked to many people on both sides of the room about this, where and I just know personally, like, I can go in and get what I want at a card show in like 2 hours if I'm buying what I'm buying now. Now, if I'm sitting at a box digging through quarter boxes, dollar boxes, then I'm probably going to spend more time at a show. But if I'm coming in and I'm just like digging through like the dollar box, the $5 box, slabs, I can get in and out in 2 hours, get what I want. I'm happy, and boom, I'm on the road by 10 or 11 o'clock, which makes sense. Room's empty at 2:30. Pokemon's different. First, Pokemon's a late to arrive crowd, kind of like the 2 dealers that wanted reimbursed on parking because they didn't get there on time for setup. That's very common. It's Pokemon dealers tend to be a little later arriving. Now, of course, not all of them are, but generally speaking, the sports guys are knocking down the door. I've got guys, and I tell, like, the doors don't, I can't let you in until 7 o'clock. Well, I'm not ready. They don't let me in until 6. So I have 1 hour to get signs up, to get table numbers out, and to catch my bearings. I know you guys like coming early. Don't. Well, you can. I'm not telling you not to. You're just going to stand around for an hour. If you want to get there at 6 or 6:30, you're going to have to wait. So that's sports. Pokemon, I'll never have a dealer for Pokemon at 6 or 6:30 showing up trying to get in and setting up. But it's more of a, like, they're just hanging out. Like Pokemon, the Pokemon card room, it's like they're just talking, and you don't get that in the sports. Like, the talking is, well, this did this did this. I hate fucking negotiating. I was digging through some dollar boxes at the show, and there was a card in a showcase, sticker price $40. And of course the customer says, "What's your best?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, don't say that. What's your best?" And so the dealer was like, "These are freshly comped, so, like, 40s, you're getting a good deal at 40. And the how did it go? Oh, so the dealer says he's like, you can't come off that at all. I think the customer said you can't come off that at all. And he's like, I do 35. And it sounded like he was like me. Like, all right, I don't want to do this dance. All right. You just want some dollars off the card. How about for 30 or wait, no, 36. He said 36. The dealer said 36. So sticker price was 40. Well, he's like, that's 10% off. He's like, I do 36. Can you do 35? Really? You don't have a George, like I wanted to pull a George Washington out of my wallet. Here. This cheap guy doesn't want to pay an extra $1. Like, I hate that. $1. I hate negotiating. Here's my price. Take it or leave it. But sometimes I'm that. Well, it's like, I just want this guy to get away from my table. Like, yes, I'll take your money. All right. Cooter says, who do you use to staff the admissions table and other show roles? So my assistant is Tom, East Coast Tom, who's in here. So he helps with check-in, basically dealer relations. He goes around and checks in on dealers. And we both tag team on that. We're both kind of walking around, roaming. I have my buddy Mark, his son, who's like a super genius academically. He is him and one of his friends staff the admissions table. So and I'm up there too, because there's some assholes out there that want to, I paid already, and trying to bully a 15-year-old kid. So, I kind of keep an eye. We had security. So this month we had security at, I have 2 security on guard. So we had one roaming, and then one would be towards the front, at the admission gate. So that was actually nice to have. And then the 2 security guards. So that's basically my staff. John says, when will you implement a VIP lounge? Ooh, yeah. Don't answer, Cooter. You'll have ice on your ass quicker than a rabbit. Stole that line from Scarface. John says, if you find some ED meds, they are mine. Apologies and thanks in advance. Gem City's in the house. Good morning. What year is that Rack Pack box over your right shoulder from? 1984. 1984. And then the box next to it is 1980 tops. So the rack box is in front of McGuire. The 80 tops box is in front of Sosa. And then on the other side, that's an Arizona State college box. And then next to that, 83 tops football, which is, I think, just an empty box. And then on top of that is 84 Donruss Action All-Stars. And what's that over there? Oh, that's an 82 tops traded set sans the Cal Ripken, because I pulled it and sold it. Gem City says, slabs in this economy? Got to have them like milk and eggs at the local grocery store. That's right. Florida baseball card dude, good morning. Pro tip, show up to the Madison Card Show with a horse trailer and you'll park for free. You're welcome. Nope, the horse trailers have to pay admission also. World Dairy is huge and has great milkshakes. I've never been. Have you been? Sounds like you've been. I've never been. When is the clogging fest? There probably is. I'm sure there is. Bo just got bumped for the big house. Cooter, that's in Pella, Iowa, where they make the windows. The clogging fest. Oh, Pella. Proud to live in a state that doesn't host a horsemanship event. John, go visit Amish country. You might surprise yourself. There you go. Deep dive into the Madison cultural calendar is unfascinating. Lost me at Bratfest. We'll have to line up Madison Card Show. Well, let's see. How's that gonna? I don't know. I don't know how the calendar is gonna work for the card show, because we're not gonna do every other month, because we're gonna do January, February at the Alliant, March at the hotel likely, and then April, May, who knows? Tom says to Gem City, what does an Amish girl dream about at night? 2 men at night. 2 men at night. But Pokemon don't show up until breakfast wraps up at Panda Express. Tom, that is the first time I've heard that one. Got me good there. Mark, what's going on? He says, congrats. Thank you. Appreciate it. Gem City says, when will supper clubs make the comeback? They have made they never left in Wisconsin. Supper clubs are huge in Wisconsin. Fresh comps as fleeting as MLB debut patch. Bo talks like a dealer. 2. Speaking of fleeting, where'd those fake autographs go? Yeah, we mentioned that last week. Whatever happened to that story? Way Street. 2-way street. Tom is the true hero. Those assholes in line remind me of adults hockey checking kids for spring training autographs. Security was 1,000 times better than the last show. Spent a lot less money, though. John says, I didn't ask about the box next to it. I need a 1980 pack now that you offered. 1980 was my first year of massive buying power. I was not yet born in 1980. Andy, good morning. It's been a while since I made a live. Welcome. Get the Isthmus as a sponsor for the Madison Card Show. Then they'll get some correct information. Trying to sign Sebastian Bach for Bratfest. Fingers crossed. Oh, man. I'd go for Sebastian Bach. Hell yeah. TD says, good morning to all you Cal Raleigh collectors. Get the Mustard Museum as a sponsor. You can give out free mustard. Kyle, good morning. Congrats on the big turnout. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, next Madison Card Show back at the hotel for a 2-day event. Saturday, September 27th, we are the sports and TCG show. And then Sunday, September 28th, it's the Madison Pokemon show. And those are at the Madison Marriott South, which was formerly called the Sheraton. It is now the Madison Marriott South. No, it's not a different hotel. It's the same hotel at the same address in the same ballrooms. It's just called something different now. Mark says, Greg Morris just sold my 1980 cello with the Henderson rookie on the back. Oh, very nice. Gem City says, buzz off. Saturday, September 27th is the Gem City Card Show. Stay off my lawn. There's something else is going on that weekend. I can't remember. So there you go. September 27th, Madison Card Show. September 28th, Madison Pokemon Show. And by the way, I don't think I have any Pokemon dealers that listen to this show. But if there are, I will have tables go on sale this week on the website, MadisonCardShow.com. Those tables will go on sale this week. And I've just got to figure out when. So that's what I had. It was a good show. Really, really good show. Looking forward to the next one with the Alliant. Looking forward to next month back at the hotel. Always fun to be back at the hotel. It's more work, physically, labor intensive, but it's nice to be back where we've been for 4 years, 4+ years. But pretty much, I would say every person. It's so nice not getting complaints. I couldn't find a place to park. I mean, yeah, you had to pay $8 to park, but at least you could find a parking spot. And that's, it's like the hotel show. There's limited parking at the hotel. And if you want nice things, if you want big parking lots and you want big space where you're not shoulder to shoulder and can't walk through a hallway, you got to pay for that. And it's not cheap to rent out the Alliant Energy Center. So you don't have to come. Let's see. John says, Isthmus reminds me of Mike Tyson for some reason. Isthmus. Chris says, aren't Pokemon people late arriving to everything? I think so. I think that's just the thing. Found treasures in the house. What's going on? So yeah, September 27th, September 28th, Madison Card Show back at the hotel. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to eBay Live today, 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock. doubleheader on eBay Live. Plenty of new inventory. In fact, I've got a lot of new inventory, but I'll probably mow through most of it today. I also bought from Nick. Nick, who's in the chat. Not today, but sometimes. He had some quarter. I should have spent more time. I wasn't even there until like 4:00. But he had some really good quarter boxes. And I pulled a nice stack of football out of his boxes. So yeah. I got what was in this box? Oh, Paul. I didn't even go through. I went through some of the packs, and I think I paid. I don't know how many cards. I think he put how many cards? 210. I paid $50. But there's some nice Otanis in here. So I paid about a quarter a card. And there's some decent stuff. This I'm going to throw away. It's a reprint. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep the penny sleeve. So I saw this. I'm like, what the hell is this doing in there? It's like you can tell it's a reprint, but you know what we do with reprints? We excommunicate them from the hobby. All right. So what else do we have in here? There's some color. Stuff that I'll probably lot up and get like 50 cents for. And that's what, and I told him honestly, and he's watched some of my lives, eBay lives. And, I said, here's the thing. A lot of this stuff, I'm going to put in a lot of 10 cards and I'm going to get 50 cents a card, maybe 40 cents, 40 to 60 cents. Some of the other stuff, if it's like base, I won't even be able to move it. I'm going to put it, it's basically trash. No, I'm not going to throw it away, but I'll probably put it in a dime box, right? But then there's like Xavier Worthy. I'll probably put that up. There's a pink Xavier Worthy. So that, I'll get a few bucks from that. Brock Bowers, Drake May, quite a few Xavier Worthies. So that stuff, I'll get a few bucks. Maybe tonight it's Sunday night. Maybe that stuff goes for 10. Who knows? Sunday nights are a wild card. But so that's what it's like. I honestly don't know. So like this, so there's a whole pack of like Jared Goff and Sam Hubbard, Kendre Miller, Cooper Kupp, Kelsey. I can put in a lot. Kayvon Thibodeau, Bryce Young, DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know who that is. That stuff I can't do anything with. And then like the color, I can put in a color lot, get 50 cents a card. Some of the rookies I'll be able to move for $3, maybe $5. And if I get lucky, maybe one goes for 10. So he's like, how about $50? And there's like 5 or 6 of these Aristides Aquinos. Those are going in the trash. Okay, I'm not really throwing away. They're going to go in my dime box. Nobody's going to buy them for 10 cents, and then I'm going to get rid of them for a tenth of a penny, basically. So those are that's a tough buy. Like, okay, what am I willing to pay? And I've got to go through. It's like, okay, can I get past $50 today? And it's like, I think there's enough in there that I can move on the cheap and make. And there was something else where it's like, yeah, I bought all these and they'll be gone tonight, some football slabs. And I almost want to wait until next Sunday, because we're going to do football Sundays. But it's like, I don't want to wait a week. I don't want to sit on inventory for a week, and I'm going to be doing multiple lives. And Sundays typically are my best. Saturday and Sunday are my best shows. So anyway, Where are we at? Gem City says the whole canon of Pokemon is based on Ash waking up late. That's how he got Pikachu. There you go. John says, I'll try to catch the live from the aeroplane. Gem City says it's based in the lore, I guess. John is snarkiest at 40,000 feet. In John we trust. Merle says, looking forward to the lost and found eBay live sale. Here I've got John's driver's license starting at $1. Gem City says either the shirt Bo is wearing is a Callaway golf shirt, it is, or the arrow is pointing to his nipple, i.e. Coach Ryan Day. It is a Callaway golf shirt. Which of Bo's shirts? Yeah, that's right. Double dipping today. Kyle Tucker update, please. Spotted with Rendon and Cabo, I hear. So Kyle Tucker has a higher WAR than Kyle Schwarber, by the way. Let's see. Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker has a 4.8 WAR. His last 5 games, he's gone, let's see, 1, 2, 4, 6. He's gone 6 for 16. What's that batting? That's a good batting average. So Kyle Tucker's hitting .375 in his last 5 games with 2 doubles, 0 triples, 0 home runs, 1 RBI, 4 walks, 1, 2, 3, 5 strikeouts, 4 walks. There you go. Now, let's look at Kyle Schwarber. Now Kyle Schwarber is going to have a good last 5 games because of his 4 home run affair. Kyle Schwarber, 4.3 WAR. His last 5 games, he's gone 5 for 21. Now, 4 of those were in 1 game where he hit 4 home runs. So Schwarber is hitting .238, which is actually kind of good for him, with 4 home runs, 9 RBI. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. So there you go. Just comparing the Kyles. All right, that's what I had for today. Awesome Madison Card Show. Can't wait to see you next month back at the hotel. September 27th, the Saturday show. September 28th, the Sunday Pokemon only show in the Madison Marriott South, Madison, Wisconsin. Free admission, free parking if you can find it. And then we're back at the Alliant Energy Center in October, at the hotel in November. And then we're going to likely run 3 straight months back at the Alliant Energy Center. December for sure. That's locked in. January, February. Looking at those dates to book at the Alliant. No one is making t-shirts about Kyle Tucker. That is actually Obvious Shirts is. Obvious Shirts is King Tuck. Chicago has Kyle Tucker shirts. All right. That's what I had for today. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Come visit me today on eBay Live, 1 o'clock. We're going to be slinging singles and probably some lots on eBay Live. In fact, I'm going to get my box together. And this is, okay, so one more thing. This is the absolute awesomeness of live selling. I don't have anything to ship. I went an entire day not in my basement. And I'm coming in on a Sunday morning with nothing to ship. I can go make my mushroom coffee. I can come downstairs and turn on the TV. I'll open the sliding door because it's a beautiful late summer morning. And I can go through all of the cards I bought yesterday and prepare for my next 2 live sales that are coming up on eBay Live today at 1 and 7 Central. And not have to ship a damn thing. No 99-cent cards that I'm losing 15 cents on. No $1.75. I'm spending hours on a Sunday morning trying to catch up. None of that. Oh, I love you, eBay Live. And my sales are 5x what they were over my biggest month ever. So, gotta love it. All right. Now you can hit the like and subscribe buttons. Scrolling at the bottom, 1 and 7 Central today on eBay Live. Have a wonderful Sunday, and we'll see you on eBay Live.